Mr. Mohammed said that there are several communities across the South where armed thugs impose levies on residents without consequences. Now, for the fact that this is coming from a Minister of Information and Culture, it is very, very shameful. It is very shameful to compare these two things together at a time where people's lives are at risk. People are being told that if they do not pay their levies, they are going to be attacked. And this is what you will deduce from it. It is very shameful. I mean, he should bury his head in shame if this is what he thinks. People are paying levies. Why they are paying levies is for them to live a normal life, the same life you talking and living freely. Do you pay levy to anybody to live freely? What kind of government, what kind of administration is this, for crying out loud? What kind of a thing is this? Somebody somewhere is crying out for help and you are saying that it's happening here and they are not dying. Why? Does it mean that these things now should happen to these people before they know that these things are real? What is really going on? It is indeed very sad. Very, very sad. Very shameful for it to even come out from somebody who is supposed to be preferring solutions. Now the news in detail. Information Minister LAI MOHAMMED on Thursday said violent extremists collecting tax from citizens across the northern parts of the country constitute the same security threat as street thugs extorting cash from citizens in the southern parts of the country. The minister said bandits and terrorists operating across the northern region should not be seen as running their own enclaves outside federal jurisdiction just because they have the ability to amass financial gains through violence and intimidation. The issue is not about bandits collecting taxes, Mr. Mohammed said, but that is not the same as saying there is a new caliphate. Mr. Mohammed said there are several communities across the South where armed thugs impose levies on residents without consequences. Do you know how many places in this country where area boys collect taxes and there is no banditry there? I do not want to mention names. In many of our cities, they carve out their own territories. So what they are writing is nothing. It is not indicative that the bandits have taken over, the minister said at a press briefing in his office on Thursday. Whereas there are street thugs in Lagos and other southern cities, they operate largely under the shadows. But insurgents and bandits gangs in northern communities often sack security forces and introduce quasi-administrative roles to government-trapped locals. Mr. Mohammed's comments come as the regime ramps up its pushback against the economist's latest issue that criticized President Muhammadu Buhari. The publication noted that under Mr. Buhari, Nigeria has become a crime scene of destructive magnitude on the African continent, pointing out that terrorists and armed bandits are running wild because the president is corrupt and lazy, failing to do anything but render lip service following every deadly attack. The minister also criticized the Nigerian media for publishing Western outlets. People Gaza was the first Nigerian outlet to publish a follow-on story based on the Economist report, which was soon followed with 2 additional stories, including the military's rebuttal. The point is about you, Nigerian media, swallowing hook, line and sinker, a report by a foreign organization which you have not even interrogated yourself. That is my problem, the minister said. Mr. Mohammed's new position on the credibility of Western media marked a stark breakaway from his days as opposition spokesman, especially between 2013 and 2015, when he was in charge of talking point for the then opposition APC. Many party members repeated Western media claims that Boko Haram was controlling large swaths of a country's territory, the size of Belgium. The minister also used several Western media reports to knock President Goodluck Jonathan. And when the Economics endorsed Mr. Buhari ahead of the 2015 presidential election, Mr. Mohammed held media tours on the back of the report to mock the then ruling PDP as a failure. Is it not alarming and disturbing that what is the point of, what should be the subject of discussion is blame passing at a time where people's lives are at risk? I mean, It is very, very alarming and annoying as well, that a minister, hey, goodness, a minister that is said, you are not the minister of Mr. Buhari's administration. Can somebody tell him you were a minister that is supposed to uphold truth, justice, fairness, and equity, and you are covering up for the crimes? You are covering up for the crimes that, oh my goodness. You are covering up, you are covering up, or you are defending the failures of this administration. Allow those failures to be said to them so that they are going to make amends. These things are feedback. People are dying on a daily basis. They are threatening that they are going to be attacked and killed, that bandits are leaving them. And what you do is to turn back and say, oh, in the south, that people are doing it and nobody's saying it. Are you serious? Why does it seem that Nigeria's government now cannot be proactive? What does it seem like as so? How did we even get here? I keep saying it is because when people are being appointed to various positions, they are appointed on the basis of favoritism and nepotism. This is the result of it. Tell me how someone who is the country's Minister of Information and Culture will come out to say this. This is very shameful. We are not even talking about how someone who is a senior adult be proactive. What does it seem like as so? How did we even get here? I keep saying it is because when people are being appointed to various positions, they are appointed on the basis of favoritism and nepotism. This is the result of it. Tell me how someone who is the country's Minister of Information and Culture will come out to say this. This is very shameful. We are not even talking about how someone who is a senior